the number of stores that Canadians now walked into and are met with Salam Alaikum, Allahu Akbar, all these Muslim pieces of phraseology is truly shocking. If Canadians don't wake the hell up and wake the hell up fast, this country is going to be gone and gone for good. We're already seeing in the UK 82 Sharia court laws. We're seeing in Canada halal food being brought into classroom after classroom. This is an extremely violent, authoritarian religion. These 56 Muslim countries all run in an incredibly similar fashion in which the dictates of Islam were given down as God's final commandments. This is not a discussion to be had. This is a set of rules, and if you blaspheme against Allah or do something that's counter to what the religion says is right, you are treated in the most brutal manner. Across the 56 Muslim countries, they have laws like a woman cannot leave the house without the accompaniment of a man. If a man is caught sleeping with another man, it's a minimum 10-year prison sentence, and frequently people are thrown off of buildings. If you blaspheme against Allah, you are sentenced to death. People are stoned to death. This is a medieval religion with literally a pedo for a leader. Muhammad, their prophet, when he was 54 years old, he met a 6-year-old girl, and this is deemed to be appropriate in this religion. In Canada, we are bringing hundreds of thousands of people into our country with this worldview. No matter where you go now, you are met with Salam Alaikum. It used to be illegal in Western countries to wear these head coverings because of this set of values that was assumed that came along with having to cover your entire face as a woman. Now in Canada, things have become so inverted, so subverted, that if you say anything about the fact that it seems as though 50% of the women in our cities have these full-on head coverings, you are deemed some sort of an Islamophobe or racist. First of all, it's ridiculous. Being a Muslim is not a race. It's a set of beliefs. It's a religion, and it's an extremist religion. You can deny the fact, but since 2001, Muslims have been responsible for 65,000 terror attacks across the world. That far outweighs any religion by 100x. It's not even close. And now in Canada, we are literally being invaded by these backward countries where we're seeing protests on our streets, hundreds of thousands of newcomers chanting things like Intifada in our lifetime, which literally translates to violent revolution, all the children's blood on your hands. I was following a protest, one of these, still there's a ceasefire, and still in downtown Ottawa, every day we have these goddamn protests. I was following one last week, a couple days ago. The chants on our streets, we are providing police escorts to people who are chanting things like all the children's blood on your hands. Can you imagine that? In a Canadian city, people waving foreign flags, not a single Canadian flag to be seen. Foreign flags chanting all the children's blood in your name. This is anti-Canadian bullshit that's being promoted by our sick liberal government. We're seeing a woke jihadi alliance. This goes back 60 years to the 1960s Yuri Bur's mob, these subversives who knew that in order to capitalize on anti-West sentiment, that in the short term, communists teaming up with jihadis could be a very powerful team. Now, of course, eventually the jihadis, once they become a high enough percentage in Canada, they're going to get rid of the communists. Are you kidding me? You want to go fly your Gays for Gaza flag in Palestine? Good luck with that, pal. Good luck lasting 24 hours with your trans flag there. But if this is a do or die moment right now in Canada. If we do not remove these people from the country, we're already seeing halal schools across Canada. We are already seeing these shows of force, prayer on our streets all the time. These are shows of force. The reason they're not going to their mosque, they're literally shutting down our streets for prayer, as well as for these hate mobs, is a show of force to show that they are taking over. And the fact that our government, our liberal government, literally provides police escorts to these hate rallies shows that the government is not on our side. Our liberal government has imported so many millions of Muslims that they are our police right now. These sick woke commies that want to see the destruction of the West. This pitiful, pathetic man named Mark Carney, who's currently in charge of Canada, They bring these people into the country because they know that's their voting base. And over 90% of Muslims vote Liberal, and it's because they want to bring their entire family here. They want to bring Sharia law to Canada. And who are the useful idiots that are going to let them do it? It's the Liberal Party Canada. Mark Carney out here talking about how Muslim values are Canadian values, and he claims to be woke. Are you kidding? So what exactly is throwing gays off a building a Muslim value that's a Canadian value, Mark Carney? Because I'm fairly certain you have a trans child, a son who became a woman. So are you on board with how your son who became a woman would be treated in Palestine? These people cannot rub two brain cells together, critically think anything through. But Canada, we need to start deporting these anti-Western, these haters of our society out of here. Everywhere I walk, I see women full veils. Allahu Akbar, Salam Alaikum. Our country is transforming so incredibly quickly due to these ridiculous immigration policies that show absolutely no respect, that have Canadians who fought and died for this country, World War I, World War II, and now we're just going to fling the border open for people who absolutely hate our civilization. Are you kidding me? You think that the vast majority of Muslims entering this country fall in line or agree with our Western values like free speech? Are you kidding me? Free speech in their countries, if you so-called blaspheme against Allah, you are lucky if you're sentenced to prison. In most cases, you are killed. These are people whose set of values are literally diametrically opposed to the Western values that we have here in Canada. Yet in this country, if you say anything about it, you are branded an Islamophobe racist. Your name called. The good thing is nobody cares anymore about the Liberals' name calling. It's the most pathetic form of argument. It's when you can't win an argument, you have to reform to name calling, and that's exactly what they do. They're on their way out. Carney's poll numbers are plummeting, but we in Canada have to absolutely demand that we get an election as soon as possible. Mark Carney wants to allow another 1.5 million invaders into the country in the year 2025. This is at the same time as he essentially admitted the 3 million people on temporary visas who are set to expire in the next couple of years. There's no way he's going to be able to get them out. So these so-called people on temporary visas on Canada, they're not temporary. There's absolutely zero shot in hell that we're going to be able to remove these people. There's zero chance that the Liberal Party is going to be able to remove these people. They don't even enforce the laws on violent offenders. You think that they're going to get rid of people whose visas expire? I always said these temporary workers, such bullshit. They're just going to wind up staying in the country. And I've heard again and again in the comment section, they know people who arrived in this country on so-called temporary work permits who aren't going to leave. We need to demand action. Stay tuned. I'm going to be setting up rallies. We need to stop the invasion of our country and stop the invasion of our country now. Please like, share, subscribe, join, become a member. Grab some gear, donate. I really appreciate everybody who supports it. It's time for patriotic Canadians to stand up and say enough is enough.